This video is brought to you by Play Tracker, the app that tracks your cross-platform game library, achievements, stats, and more. Play Tracker works by connecting to various gaming platforms and combining all your data in one place. It offers a unified cross-platform social experience, advanced game library labeling and sorting, fun challenges and progression system, and stats about games and the types of players who enjoy them. Play Tracker is for all kinds of gamers, like this one.
My top tags across all platforms are dating sim and psychological horror. I'm sure that says nothing about me as a person.
And this one.
My mate Captain Toe Jam 96 and I have a lot of games in common. We should tackle some challenges together.
And even me! I'm better than all of you. Unite your gaming multiverse with Play Tracker today and join the official Second Wind Guild to unlock exclusive profile decorations by playing games recommended by us, a group of ostensibly professional gamers with allegedly great taste in games. Ooh.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Windbreakers podcast. I'm Yahtzee. I'm joined by Jay and Marty, as usual. I was about to say as always, but I feel like as usual feels more honest.
Sure, definitely not always. As sometimes.
Yes. And just like we put out an episode of this podcast every week, or most weeks, again, that feels more honest, we're talking about epistolary storytelling, episodes in games.
Yes.
In the light of you and I, Marty, both having played Dispatch, which is an episodic game that's gone down rather well.
Yeah. Jay, have you played Dispatch at all, or do you have any desire to play Dispatch? Do you know what Dispatch is?
I thought about playing it this weekend. As soon as somebody said all the episodes are out, I was like, oh, cool, because I fucking hate episodic games.
Oh, let's get right into it.
I had much the same view. I saw like Dispatch come out, and I was like, "Ooh, that looks interesting." I like the whole concept of being a superhero dispatch agency. But I looked at the Steam page and was like, A, it's episode 1, and B, it's Telltale style choices matter storytelling, and that was like 2 turn-offs immediately. Yeah. But in recent days, someone was like, "Oh, all the episodes are out now. They brought them out regularly, like what you should do, like it's a TV show."
Like an actual TV show.
I was like, "Oh, okay, then I'll just binge through those." Yeah. And well, I'm doing a review, so I won't go into too much detail. But I think there's a lot that I like about it. I think I would have liked it equally as well if they'd just picked the most compelling story and done that without any fucking story choices.
Sure, then it arguably wouldn't have been a game.
But that's a different conversation.
Yeah. Jay, why do you have kind of that cilantro gene to episodic games?
Yes, it's I've inherited it from my father. I guess it's just I've been burnt by it in the past, or
haven't we all?
Yeah.
I don't like. It's the same reason why I usually 9 times out of 10 stay away from early access games, is that I just want to play the thing when it's done. It's the same reason I wait for series to come out before watching them, is because I don't want to wait, and stuff like that. And I understand there are benefits to doing that for game devs, especially if you're indie. But like the Hitman series got burnt massively for trying to do this episodic thing with the last 3. Then they had to bundle them all together to scrape sales back. And I just think it's just a weird. It feels like a corporate thing that has been. It's trying to find a thing, and the devs are being told to do it, rather than like the devs are like, the games will be better if we do them episodically. I just don't think there's any benefit to the player. But that's just me.
Well, so I do think a thing like Dispatch benefited from its release. And I do, I am someone who likes watching TV shows week to week. I think some of my favorite TV viewing experiences, like Lost or Twin Peaks: The Return or Game of Thrones, or even now with something like Pluribus, I think the week or the space between episodes helps me build an appreciation for what I viewed, as opposed to when a binge like when a season of Stranger Things or something drops and I watch it, it all just kind of washes over me and turns into this like
I did that.
amorphous blob. Like if you binge a game over a weekend, you kind of don't. It's just all like a muddled thing in your head. But I think the big thing, which Dispatch had, is it stuck to a very regular cadence. It said we're dropping 2 episodes at the same time every week for 4 weeks, which is where stuff like Telltale of the past and Half-Life obviously screwed the pooch.
Well, for the record, I binged Dispatch in 2 days and I still liked it, so I question your argument there.
Oh no, I don't think you don't like it. I don't think it's impossible to like. There's plenty of shows I've binged over a weekend and enjoyed. I just think I personally get like by turning around an episode in my head over the course of a week and thinking about where it's going to go, I feel like I get a richer or a deeper connection with a piece than I would.
That used to be the default back when television was just a thing we all had to tune into.
Yeah.
And rather than decide what we watch every bloody week.
It also, there's kind of like a Katamari approach to it, in that some people play it the first 2 episodes the first week and they're like, oh shit, this is pretty good, I'm going to tell some of my friends about it. And then more people play it the second week, and then more people play it. Like we had, there was a show, The Pit, earlier this year that was just pretty much like ER, but it was like a weekly show and it was really fucking good, and its viewership built. And by the end of the season finale was like a TV event. Whereas the pilot was kind of like no one really knew what this was. And Dispatch kind of felt the same way. The week it came out, there was like a little bit of, is just this going to do the Telltale thing? And then by the time the finale was out, it felt like there was like genuine excitement online of people being like, fuck, I want to download this the second it comes out.
I mean, it did do the Telltale thing, but
yeah, I mean, they are
not
the
way that
people. So.
But I mean, as I said, it's just a good, well-told story with fun characters, and the choices matter thing, I can take or leave. I mean, am I the only one who just rolls their eyes every time the fucking such and such will remember you did that bit of text appears?
Yes. No, I think that's almost become... well, I mean, no, you are not the only one, clearly, who rolls their eyes.
It takes me out of things. It takes me out of the game. Like, it breaks immersion. I'm like,
for me, it signifies something
for reminding
may have had
that
importance.
Causality exists.
Yeah, for me, it makes it feel like, even if it's a magic trick, even if it's like a sleight of hand trick, it makes it feel like
it's a sleight of hand trick where it shows you how it works. I mean, if they didn't show that, it would be a mystery what choices mattered. And that would be more compelling, if you ask me.
I don't think so, because the choices kind of feel like a boss to me. Like that was a boss battle. I beat a Dark Souls boss by choosing the messy girl over the girl who's not messy.
Well, let's not get into this because, as I say,
yes,
this is reviewing an individual game territory.
Yeah.
Let's go into some history, because, of course, episodic gaming started with digital distribution when that first became viable, when Steam became a thing, and Valve were all like, hey, let's just do Half-Life in episodes, because now people are less likely to just pick up games in a store, in a box.
Sure.
The experience doesn't have to be, like, intact in that first grab.
Yeah.
There's obviously quite a meal has been made of updating games after release. That's basically the expected standard at this point. So people thought, hey, let's just stagger out the development of a game. So we can put out something to feed the masses and then get them hungry while we develop the next bit. But of course, the flaw in that whole decision, was that the theory was that if they were only developing an episode of a game, it would take much less long to develop because it was just an episode. But it turns out it's not the how many hours of play you get out of it that is defined by development time.
For me, the biggest thing is audience drop-off. I think one of the benefits from like Dispatch and its release cadence, not just that it's clearly a compelling story, so you want to go see what happens in the following week, but it's knowing that it's coming the following week. It's really soon, so it's fresh in your memory. Like if you've played the first couple episodes of the first Hitman game on PS4, and then you have to wait, I don't know how long it was, a year for the next thing because they hit a snag. You've moved on to the hundreds of other games that are interesting to you, and you forget about it, and then maybe you stop caring. So it's like, I get the whole give people development time and stuff, but I think that only works on like a small scale with like Jess gave me an example of like Scarlet Hollow by Black Tabby. They used Slay This Princess to like fund their episodic games, and they're doing it in that way. So there's only I think 2 of them. So they're using that 4 of them just as no.
Hey,
Nope,
this is a 3-person podcast. Go away.
Yeah, I've lost my train of thought. Yeah, like it makes sense in a small indie scale, but on like a bigger scale, especially when the games are like grander, I think it just leads to so many complications, not just for the devs, but also the players.
I mean,
but even on the indie
developed...
scale, you have things like Deltarune, which
that's like taking way too fucking long.
Yeah, and that's one of those things where it's like, okay, that's ostensibly early access at this point, because I know there's plenty of people like you, Yachts, right? Are you waiting for it to just be out to play it? Because even though you're I'm a big fan of Undertale, I
mean, I played
I'm waiting.
existing episodes because I caved fairly recently when there was like that official Switch 2 release. But I would have preferred if it was all together in a nice, neat bow. Much as I played Dispatch, and I don't really, I don't think there's much benefit to releasing game episodically. I mean, you say it's nice to be able to like, digest your food over the course of a week.
Yeah,
I think players can judge that for themselves. They're perfectly capable of taking a break in between episodes if they want to do that.
Yeah, but this also created like Dispatch had conversation around it for a month, as opposed to if it was dropped all on a Tuesday, it would have a conversation around it for.
Seems like a marketing thing more than
seems
it is
like a marketing benefit. But I think it works in this. It didn't feel like it was predatory.
It's true that it's harder, especially for like linear single player games, to like occupy the cultural zeitgeist for very long in this day and age.
Sure.
I mean, there's almost this expectation now that games have to be continually updated. I mean, people saying, "Hey, there aren't as many simultaneous players in this game as there used to be." Bro fell off.
Yeah. It's funny doing some research into this, like the obviously kind of the Valve Half-Life episodes, and then Telltale's early
I think
stuff.
the problem with there was the theory was that if the mechanics and all of that was in place, all they had to do was hammer out the levels, but Valve would keep like updating the mechanics and like the graphics engine from episode to episode, which turns out didn't save much time at all.
And if there's too long in between episodes, I feel like you fall into the trap of we're listening to feedback and we're changing things, as opposed to Dispatch clearly was just the game. Like the game was clearly done when it was out, and it was just their choice to release it. Weekly.
They made it all and just they made it all first, and then released the piecemeal. So there was no like additional development over the course of the release.
Yeah,
which for me raised the question of what was the point of being episodic except to sort of evoke TV shows deliberately.
Sure. Yeah, it is funny. There were some examples of like PC and Japanese only games in like the 80s and 90s that were episodic. Like Nintendo futzed with it with the Famicom Disk System and the Satellaview. There was like an episodic Zelda thing that beamed in like a radio broadcast. So like you'd be playing Zelda 1 and like characters would talk to you. And it was released kind of piecemeal, but that all felt extremely experimental. And then apparently there was a Wing Commander game in the late 90s that was released episodic called Wing Commander Secret Ops, but
I believe that
it was the late 90s and people, the internet was not ubiquitous, so it kind of, stepped on its own dick. And then there were, we talk about Telltale and Valve, but there is stuff like, remember when Sonic the Hedgehog 4 was supposed to be episodic, and I think they got 2 episodes in and we're like, we're done. This is bad.
Remember? Here's a deep cut. Do you remember Sin Episodes Emergence?
I do. Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, that was like Valve were all up there going, "Hey, episodic gaming is the future. Let's do that." And then poor fucking Sin came along and said, "Yeah, we're the useful idiot. We believe you. We're going to do that." And then Valve went, "Psych, doesn't work."
Yep. Yeah, very, very strange. And then one of my favorite games of probably the 2010s was Kentucky Route Zero, which is a very just mood-heavy point-and-click adventure game. But that was 5 episodes, and they would go years in between the episodes.
I know. It was moody and atmospheric and arty, and I found it so fucking boring.
Oh, I loved it.
I mean, if Little Nightmares 3 hadn't been the first game I fell asleep to, Kentucky Route Zero would have been it.
You were a younger man. You could stay up then.
Yeah.
as opposed to now.
Yes, I drank more energy drinks.
You drank more energy drinks. There you go. Yeah, but do we think like that the success, clearly the critical and commercial success of Dispatch, they said they've, I think, sold 2 million copies already. They're going to like slam their 3-year projections by the end of the year, probably. Do you think this is going to open the door for more people to try this? Or do you think that this studio is kind of uniquely catered to it, A, because of the kind of games they make, and B, because they have a history in Telltale, so they understand the do's and don'ts of this kind of thing?
I think it's very easy to take the wrong lesson from Dispatch. And the lesson I would take from it is that you can be very compelling if you're well written with fun characters and very well animated.
Mm-hmm.
And I think its success is not because of, but more in spite of all the other stuff we're talking about. The Telltale style choices, the episodic arrangement, and all of that.
I disagree with that. I do think the choices, the choices create a bond in that game with certain players that you don't get in a choices don't matter game. Even if the choices are illusionary, like you always say.
Maybe I'm too like savvy to that sort of thing now.
I think you might.
But I remember like the game was, well, you've played it, so I don't think it's too much of a spoiler to say the game sets up 2 parallel love interests.
Sure.
And obviously there's like a recurring choice where you pick which one you're aiming for. But no matter how much I told girl A to fuck off, the game just could not be convinced that she didn't consider herself at least a candidate. And
some of us are bad at taking social cues.
Yeah, I guess I can't. I guess I got the sense she was having trouble taking no for an answer.
Yeah, it's power dynamic. That's what happens when you're
like the game was like. It gave me that very distinct sense that the game was still operating like on the assumption that it would go either way. It felt like my choices didn't matter so much. I guess I could, because I'm like the Matrix. I can see through the code. I could tell. I'd see like an edit in a cutscene and said, "Oh, that's where footage where whatever our choice leads back into the bit that every player gets."
Yeah, and that takes you out of it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very obvious edit. Like there was almost like a hang on the frame rate, and I was like, "Yep, we switched to a different video now. That means this means the scene that my choice changed has now switched back to the scene everyone gets."
Yeah, I think
I get that too, but I think that's because Yahtzee and I have studied and like done game dev for so long that we, like you said, can see through the Matrix. So I stop seeing it as choices that the characters are making, and I start being like, well, how are the developers constructing this? And that's not a fault of the game or how they've done it. It's a fault of our brains.
You guys need different brains. This is the problem.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, I understand, because we had the same argument going back to like Astrobot, where I was like, I think it's fun that the game is a toy that you blow into the controller for, and you guys were like, this takes me out of the fucking experience. Like, this is not. Yeah. This is bad. Whereas I'm like, I think to me that is building the experience, because I'm not like playing the game being like, I am the Astro Boy. I live in this world and I rescue my friends. Like, to me, it is a toy. It's a piece of art and a toy. But it's almost really like saying like walking through a museum and seeing a velvet rope takes you out of the experience of the art, which I don't get.
That's not really immersion, though. I mean, we're not saying that we actually believe we are Astrobot. It's about. We are,
it's breaking flow state. Is
feeling
what
like we've lost. We've lost our
mojo, like Austin Powers.
The moment you become conscious of the controls you're having to use, I suppose.
I'm always conscious, the point of breaking flow I always state. Know I'm playing a video game.
Well, yes, in the abstract we know that, but there's a point where you just lose yourself in the game and your fingers are just working automatically and you're not even thinking about it.
Flow state.
And that's what you lose when you're suddenly being asked to blow into the controller.
Counterpoint, you get to blow.
All right.
Counterpoint,
well,
if you had to wait a week, if you got to blow and then you had to wait a week until you could blow again, would that improve would that improve it?
Well, I'm very bad at
I was going to take that to a very weird place.
As my partners have frequently told me.
Yeah. Badooch. Yeah. Yeah, there's I don't know, because episodic gaming is also a weird thing, because if you squint, you could call a lot of things episodic. Like, are Fortnite seasons episodic? Jay, you play a lot of MMOs. Like,
Mhm.
does that rollout of content feel episodic, or is that kind of like a vestigial limb of that, like a different?
No, it's episodic in a way, like especially with MMOs, with WoW or Final Fantasy or Guild Wars.
But MMOs is
There
more
are
like they're bolting
expansions and
extra
small
rooms
patches
onto
in
your
between.
house.
Yeah,
can
I
play
guess,
your
but also
MMO
there's a lot of story in those that are like driving it forward.
Yeah. No, I see that. I mean, so that's an MMO, but what about like, there was Fortnite's doing like a Simpsons thing, which in itself feels like an episode of Fortnite, and then every week they're releasing like a new Simpsons event.
Did Fortnite ever at any point have even the semblance of consistent theming?
No, I mean, I think that's kind of the appeal to it for a lot of people, is that it feels like you dumped out like not only your toy box, but also like your fridge, your toolbox, any container in your house, you dumped on the floor, and all that shit is existing in the same world.
It's one of the things that makes it feel so utterly vacuous as a work of culture.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's when, because like the game, like the original pitch for the game, that's sort of like tower defense, build up during the day and then fend off monsters at night, was what they originally pitched. And then clearly the battle royale, pulling in every pop culture thing under the sun, ended up being what its bread and butter was.
Yeah, and mostly generic setting. There's green grass and there's a town, and everyone's just wearing basically combat gear, and away you go.
Yeah.
It's like just a way with MMOs, with Fortnite. It's a way to bring an audience back to an experience because they want it to be your forever thing. And that's episodic games like Dispatch aren't trying to do that, right? They're just trying to use, I think they're using it as a clever marketing ploy to kind of stagger that release. But with MMOs and stuff like that, it's just bring people back, like bring them back to the world, get them to spend money, and have things to do, so they spend more money, right?
Yeah.
I suppose the question is, to move into super chats perhaps, what is the future of episodic gaming? I think it's always going to be with us on some level, because we're kind of stuck with the download post-release model, and that's always going to be tempting to the episodic fellas.
Yeah.
And that's always just going to be a presence we have now. A game can just be updated after launch. Fuck you if you were attached to its current state. Suck my dick, etc.
It also it's malleable, and it stretches to sort of any scale of game. It could be something as small as like Deltarune or Bendy and the Ink Machine. It could be kind of bigger indie like AdHoc and Dispatch, or it can be Hitman. A lot of AAA DLCs. Like Life is Strange was episodic. The Assassin's Creed had was it the Assassin's Creed 3 DLC that was the Tyranny of King Washington, that was released in like 3. It was like a guidance story that Washington became king and became like a tyrant, and you had to kill him over the course of 3 stories that were.
I mean, there's an argument for saying like the whole Ezio arc was episodic, because you had Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, Assassin's Creed Revelations.
Yeah, I mean that kind of gets into like what is. If you're just telling the story of a character over, like, what's the difference between a trilogy and episodic?
It came down to semantics again. We got there.
Sure, like as it always does. I mean, Star Wars, no one would call the 9 Star Wars movies episodic movies, even though at the beginning they say episode 1, episode 2.
Yeah, even though they call them episodes.
A trilogy of trilogies. Yeah.
All right. Shall we go super chats, or did anyone want to have any other closing remarks?
Oh, how do you guys feel about games that are a single game but present themselves as episodic? Like I was
like Alan Wake,
like Dispatch.
No, damn it. No, like Alan Wake, a single product that like kind of chunks it up almost and does like maybe even a previously on Alan Wake.
Every time a previously on a sequence happened in Alan Wake, I would say aloud, "Why are you showing me this? This just happened." Do you have such low opinion of my attention span, game?
Maybe they expect you to play one episode and then put it up for the night.
Well, I'm the one who decides that. Actually,
the one who
did you ever play Alone in the Dark 2008?
No. Did that do the same
This is
thing?
the only game I've seen doing this. There might be others. It's like the one good feature in the game is that when you reload a save, it plays a previously on.
I love that.
Yeah, and whatever point in the game you're at, it will be like a previously on, like summarizing all the important cutscenes up to that point.
Yeah.
Witcher
And I
3
like
does that,
Witcher 3 does that. I think
Okay.
Red Dead
Final
2
Fantasy
does that a little
13
bit?
did that.
doesn't it?
I can't remember. Red Dead 2 was so long ago. That was
Can't
1,000 years ago.
I don't remember it doing that.
I just like when the balls get small.
Maybe I'm thinking of Witcher 3.
Yeah.
Chat, don't you have Sonic Adventure 2, some people saying?
Eric just wants to talk about Sonic. He wants to roll around at the speed of sound is the problem.
I never played Sonic Adventure 2.
Oh,
That's the
you're
game where
missing
they
out. There's a
introduce-
Halloween level where you play as Knuckles and someone's rapping in the background, and it's fucking great.
Oh,
Everything else is bad, but that level's
wonderful.
cool.
Oh, and it's going to introduce Shadow the Hedgehog. It was like the point of no return.
That was
Oh.
that was
our-
a turning point.
Oh my goodness, our hedgehog with attitude now has to face a hedgehog with more attitude.
It's got a gun. Open
With a
carry.
gun.
The tudes are overflowing.
The dudes, too many dudes.
Sonic's finally growing up and
Yeah.
going through his goth phase. Anyway,
Aren't we all?
Raven 415 2001 gives $5. I tried not to read the numbers out on the end of the names because I know they didn't mean anything.
It's hard to read.
Raven gives Raven's weekly word of the week, week 26, mellifluous. And no, that's not the name of the protagonist of Hades 2.
I'm gonna take a stab. Is melly like music? Melody?
Oh, you're very warm there.
Okay.
you're
and then
red hot.
Fluis is Eric just dead? Did Eric leave? Are we still
I
streaming?
think Eric turned it off, so you can't see the answer.
Oh,
okay,
cheeky.
that's fine. Something to do with music. I don't know what fluis means.
I mean, basically, yeah, it sort of means melodious, sort of pleasant to listen to, musical.
Okay. I thought Eric died, but he just
there you
stopped
go.
sharing the thing. Perfect. That was a good one, Raven.
Faz gives £9.99. It says, I don't think there's no one right way to... Double negative there, Faz, you confused me. I don't think there's no one right way to release episodes. Some stories benefit from dropping a quick burst, while others benefit from having time to digest between each one.
I think that's even people are realizing that in the TV space as well. I think there's some things that people just want, and also it kind of. Well, no, it doesn't really give. I mean, I guess if you drop everything at once, people can still choose to either binge it or to take their time.
But I guess I guess people sometimes need to be forced to do what's best for them.
They need
I think
to have a
sometimes-
leash on.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I kind of prefer the episodic release schedule, and then if you're like Jay and you just want to wait till the end of the season, you can do that.
But like, I don't want to. I'm not someone who will just binge something. I just like things being out, so I have the choice. I usually watch an episode of a thing every night with Jess. We don't watch 5 of them, but
Sure.
like, if we want to watch another one because the cliffhanger was really good and we want to see something, we have the option to do that. And I think if your show is written well, at the end of each episode, you will want to watch the next one. And it doesn't matter whether you have the option to do that or you have to wait a week. I think they have the same outcome. So
Yeah, I guess I take
think-
the perspective of someone who doesn't really watch TV or films and who just wants to get through a game so they can do their job. I'll tell you something that pissed me off about a game that I'll be reviewing very soon, actually, Where Winds Meet, where the whole gimmick of that game, at least early on, is that you have to wait a day before you can proceed with the critical path story campaign.
IRL,
Yeah, you have to, you get to level
like Animal
10.
Crossing.
And you could, like Animal Crossing, you get to a story moment, and the game goes, okay, you can play the next story moment when you've played this many days in game.
That's
And
incredibly
we'll
annoying.
we'll update that at 5 a.m. So come back after that, I guess.
all right.
I'm like,
I
bitch.
take it back. Episodic is a bad idea.
Yeah, in games, perhaps.
Yeah.
Anyway, Sinos the Hedgehog gives $2. It says, at the beach, y'all. Have a Mai Tai on me, gents. Well, we're not having many Mai
Hey.
Tais on $2, Sinos the
I'm
Hedgehog.
gonna have all the Mai Tais. A mini Mai Tai.
50 Cent Mai
Uh,
Tai.
I believe that's Alex Armstrong. They said that they're on a cruise. They talked the last
Oh.
week on a cruise.
Hey,
Well, good
beach
for
cruise.
them. I've been
beach
on a cruise.
On a cruise.
Been on a boat.
Wait,
I've never been on a large boat. I've been on a ferry. That's the largest boat I've ever been on.
Yeah, I've been on.
Wait,
some
what's a beach
boats.
cruise? Is that just a cruise where you go to numerous beaches, or just an entire beach that moves through the sea with you on it?
Probably the second one.
They
an
just put
entire
sand
beach,
on the deck.
like a flotilla. Flotilla the Hut.
Well, that does sound like fun.
Yeah.
Bolts MR gives $5 and says, much love to you all. My main concern is that greedy developers find ways to gouge us through episodic means. Currently playing Walking Dead first time. Well, if that was their plan, it worked on you, I guess.
Well, at least like if you keep the prices in check, because I think the Telltale games were like $5 an episode, so $25 a season, which I think Dispatch is similarly. Like, I don't think you can even buy them singularly. I think it's just like $25 or $30 for the season.
Yeah, that's reasonable. Meanwhile, every like Half-Life episode ended up just costing same as a basic game, I think.
Oh, did it? Because I didn't play Half-Life anything until Orange Box, which had everything.
Actually, I'm not sure. I mean, the Orange Box was a full price thing, but it had
and Half-Life 2 or Episode 2 launched with the Orange Box, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm wrong. Actually, I think I'm wrong. If you just bought the episodes individually, it wouldn't have been full price.
Yeah.
If they're full price and they're mechanically also improving and doing new and interesting things, that's just a sequel. That's not like
it's a very short sequel.
That's just
I feel like a sequel, like there's if you make a game like Half-Life 2, you create an expectation that the sequel will be at least that, if not more. And then if the sequel is only a quarter the length or whatever episode 1 is.
More semantics. I mean, it's the difference between a serial and a series. A serial is something that you go into knowing it'll be multiple episodes, and a series is like where you make sequels after the fact once you know the first one is successful. Anyway, Witticism gives $10, says, can't catch this one live this week, but happy Thanksgiving. Be it TV or games, I don't start a season of anything till all the episodes are out and people are still on board with the final product. I guess it's going to come down to a personality thing. Are you the kind of person who wants to watch one episode of something a week or a day, or one episode a day, or are you the kind of person who wants to binge the whole thing? Tomato, wonderful spectrum of humanity, you need many colors to make a rainbow, etc.
What about expansions? Where do expansions fit in this? What about like Blue Shift and
Toffee just did a very stinky fart.
Just a true Toffee just expanded their rec one.
Expansions, or as they became DLC, I think that's just a case of more, please. Like, that's not something you're expected to like the core audience to interact with. It's just the people who are really into it can go more, please, and then they get more.
That makes sense.
Well, I see it as like because I play so many MMOs, an expansion is something that is going to expand on the classes that are already there and maybe introduce some new ones. So and add new areas and new bosses, new everything. So it is more, please, but also just building on top of what's already there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think MMOs do that in the best way because they have the foundation for it. But yeah, like DLCs.
So like MMOs, they have their major expansions, like Warcraft has their big,
Midnight's coming out soon. Yeah.
Then they also do like updates in between those, right?
Patches.
The expansions come out every few years, right?
Yeah. So I know people dog on the story in WoW, but like WoW, Guild Wars, and Final Fantasy have like really, really intense story, and they can't just wait a couple years and then drop an expansion out of nowhere and just be like, well, the story's starting again. They have patches, usually 3 or 4, in between expansions that bridge the gap to what they're going to be doing narratively in the next one. So the characters start progressing towards the thing they're going to be doing in the next expansion. Gets people excited for it, kind of like a mini episode of an expansion comes out, and then boom, big event.
I dread to even think of the fucking World of Warcraft timeline at this point.
Oh, it's a mess.
Yeah. Anyway. Inverse Skies gives $7.99. Says, I adored Undertale. I'm not playing Deltarune until the whole thing is done. I'm happy to wait. Plenty to play in the meantime. I concur that's probably the best approach to take. Inverse Skies.
Yeah.
I don't know. Teddy Fox is in a unenviable position and trying to follow up like such a massive hit as Undertale.
Sure. Yeah, we talked about that a lot with like what the follow up to Stardew Valley, Haunted Chocolatier is going to be like.
Yes.
What happens when you make one of the biggest games of a decade?
Team Cherry, the Silk Song, right?
He's certainly not shying away from making a game that a lot of people will compare to the original, in Deltarune's case.
Sure.
But
Is
at
it
the
same?
same time,
Does Deltarune have like the same sort of battle system and stuff, or does it like? Actually,
pretty much. That's pretty similar.
Yeah.
And frankly, you know, you can take two avenues with this sort of thing. You can either make something that feels like a direct follow-up from the popular thing, or you can try to do a completely new thing, and some section of the audience is going to complain whichever one you do.
Of course. Yeah.
As I say, unenviable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm thinking of Davey Reedon and his fucking tea game.
Yeah, Wonder Stop.
Wonder Stop, yeah.
Yeah.
So, hey, this isn't like the Stanley Parable or Beginner's Guide at all. Where's the clever narrator and making a sort of satirical point on linear game design?
Is the best thing. Their previous two games were about subverting expectations, and to subvert your expectations, they just made a game.
A very nice
most-
regular game.
Yeah.
The most subversive thing of all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not subverting.
Tommy Salty, member for 24 months in Tipjar. Thank you very much, Tommy Salty.
2 years.
And then Ron Stone gives 199, says worst episodic example was Hitman on PS4. Yes, I think we mentioned that.
Yeah. But that's an interesting example that managed to kind of pull out of that tailspin and release a game that people fucking love.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
World
they kind of
Assassination.
stuck the landing. Like after the fact, you can just buy.
I mean, they
World
absolutely
Assassination
stuck.
now.
I don't think they kind of stuck the landing. I think like that game is critically and commercially
Like
sold up the
the
wazoo.
combo of all three
Yeah.
is probably one of my favorite things I've played this year.
Yeah, but if
Yeah.
you were
I mean,
there
this-
at the time, kind of getting their drippings, you're like,
I think the
this is-
connecting story is a bit wobbly if you go through it.
Oh, I mean, I think the story
Yeah.
itself in Hitman's a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
it's
my
not
story
really
is I went
the
to a
thing
vineyard and I threw a man in a wine press and he's dead.
Yeah,
and I feel
it's
good
not really
about
the
it.
thing to focus on, is it? It's
No.
the interesting, like mini sandbox worlds and the way
Yeah,
they,
design.
the way you can interact with them. Anyway, Inch Zero gives $5 and says Black Tabby Games had to make a whole other game, Slay the Princess, to fund the rest of Scarlet Hollow's chapter release. I didn't even know about that. I've only played Slay the Princess. I didn't even know Scarlet Hollow was a thing.
Oh
yeah, it's an
my god!
episodic visual novel series by the Black
Okay,
Tabby
don't
Games.
Which is
care.
funny because I imagine Slay the Princess probably outsold that, right? Like
I have fucking
they,
huge.
they were like,
budget.
"We're going to
I
make
mean,
this
as I
to
say-
make this other thing," and they're like, "Oh, this thing
As I
ended up being
say,
way more popular."
I've heard of Slay the Princess. I haven't heard
Yeah.
of Scarlet Hollow. It's Fortnite again,
but they-
isn't it?
Now
we
they've
set out
gone
to
back
do-
to doing Scarlet Hollow.
Well, more power to them, I guess.
Yeah, do whatever you want.
Sinus the Hedgehog gives $2 and says, episodic gaming feels like cheap way to build hype. It's not cheap, Sinus the Hedgehog.
Yeah,
I think it's a very, very expensive way to build hype that's a huge pain in the ass.
yeah. I don't think there's any benefit to just doing it. Like, I don't.
I mean, if you want a cheap way to build hype, just paint the name of your game on the side of the Golden Gate Bridge in the
There
middle
you
of the night.
I think it's a gamble.
Yeah,
I think it's a huge gamble.
and it like very rarely has it felt like it paid off. Like I saw John Arbuckle in the chat mentioning the Grand Theft Auto expansions, which were kind of like the DLC
Yeah.
episodic things, the Ballad of Gay Tony and the
Lost and Damned. Yeah.
Lost and the Damned. Yeah, and then for 5, obviously they just drifted away from that and we're just like, well, we're gonna put all our eggs in
I mean,
the online
they-
basket.
They did pretty drastically drifted away from at least the Lost and Damned by
Yeah.
murdering the protagonist of the
Yeah.
Lost and Damned at the very beginning of GTA 5.
Yeah.
Anyway, Doran Grossman Naples gives $5 and says, I feel like the big benefit of episodic games is getting to chat with others about it in the interim. It's good for fandom and the conversation, TM.
Agreed.
I once
I do-
coined a term for games that I called water cooler games, which I'd usually characterize as games where there was a lot of choice on how you could build your character and what you could do,
Yeah.
like a Skyrim.
Yeah.
And,
Baldur's Gate
and-
3, I think people have their own stories with.
And it was fun to get around the water cooler and exchange stories on how you played differently to all your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
You
also
didn't
think
have
that
the same thing with Donkey Kong Bonanza. It's like, oh, how did you get through this thing? It's like, I punched.
Ooh, banana.
Yeah, I
I
punched
I punched a wall until I found a banana.
That's not to say
you go.
mechanically that can't be a thing as well. I think
Oh, no.
Animal Well did a great job of creating that kind of water cooler experience. Anything
Yeah.
that's like there are secrets in the game, there are things for you to discover. Once you know the secrets, you want to talk to your friends about to see what they've discovered and maybe like subtly give them hints or see how far they've got. So I
Yeah.
think Animal World does a great job of that.
I also think for that kind of like water cooler talk, you need something to like enough meat on the bone. And I do think Dispatch made a wise choice. I don't think releasing it over the course of 8 weeks would have been a good idea. I think 2 episodes a week for 4 weeks was a good idea because each episode's like 45 minutes or something. And some of them don't feel slight, but you know, in pairs, I feel like it felt bigger, and it almost seemed like every other episode would end on kind of a cliffhangery thing, or like a big moment.
Hey, Marty, who did you cut?
I cut the raven girl, the girl with the raven wings. I did. I liked Bat Boy. I thought Bat Boy was funny.
I cut Bat Boy. I thought he was a twat.
Oh well, he was a twat, but I think Bat Boys are funny. I kind of want to play it again and make all my different choices to see what happens.
I feel like if you did that, you would immediately become very disillusioned on your choices mattering.
Sure.
I've had that experience before with this sort of game.
Yeah.
The famous one is from Telltale: The Walking Dead, where you make a decision to save 2 people who are about to die, and you get to save one. An hour later, the person you saved dies anyway, so you come to the same conclusion.
Yeah.
All choices need to be like the beginning of Wolfenstein, and it's like you gotta choose one of these 2 characters to die. And like, I don't know who they are.
I loved that. I was like, great. I mean, let's explore the consequence of our choice after the fact. That's what I liked. Anyway,
those games are good.
Dead,
I like
that
the
Walking Dead moment that you bring up, Jay. That feels like one of those. We want to do a choice, but we can't. We don't have the bandwidth to go down the rest of this game with these 2 choices. So we need to.
That's the problem with video games as opposed to choose your own adventure books, because you don't want to like put all your effort into making a location or some characters that like half the players are just never going to see. That's not economical.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Anyway.
I made an entire episode about it. It's why the train tracks always come back to a converging point, because that's where the money is made. Like the money is
not to mix our metaphors, but we used to call that string of pearl design. The strings go out and then back in, and out and back in, and out and back in. String of pearls.
Interesting.
I think the first Deus Ex game was referred to as a string of pearls game.
Dig that.
Anyway, Episodic gives $5. Says the only benefit was cheaper cost for episodes, but risk was if the episode wasn't great, you lose revenue on future episodes. I don't like episodic. Yeah, I mean the rule of thumb is like publishers want bums on seats an opening weekend before word of mouth gets around that it kind of sucks.
Yeah. I think it also like the development of Dispatch is fascinating because their original plan was for it to be live action, and they were going to shoot it in LA, and then COVID happened.
Like an FMV.
No. No. They
which I think that was
100%
a blessing in disguise.
I would have instantly played it if that was the case.
I mean, I'm fascinated by FMV games in 2025, but I think something like that. Like, what would Sonar have looked like? What would Golem have looked like? What would the Devil Lady look like?
I mean, one of the strengths of Dispatch is the performance of the lead character. I didn't know it was Aaron Paul till I saw the credits.
Yeah, him and
like,
Jeffrey Wright plays the speedster.
I thought it might have been Will Arnett for a while. He's giving that sort of BoJack Horseman vibes. But no, it's Aaron Paul, but Aaron Paul just sort of like not shouting bitch at the top of his voice at every opportunity.
It is interesting too because they had funding fall through, and Critical Role ended up coming in and
I saw
helping
that. Yeah.
publish the game, and like a lot of the main characters are voiced by Critical Role folks, and I imagine that they might be doing a Critical Role game next, which is an interesting partnership.
Monkey's paw, finger curls. Anyway. Japio gives $5. Says, I can enjoy Episodic as the kind of guy who enjoys fandom theorizing and speculation. Deltarune's been fun as a guy who listens to fun theory vids. Well, again, many colors to make a rainbow, but a lot of people find fandom a little bit icky.
Yeah, and that kind of... I also like the theorizing, but I kind of need some semblance of a schedule. Like, even... It's tough. Like, there's that show Severance now, which is a big mystery box show, but the wait between the first 2 seasons was like 3 years. I think it was like 2022 to 2025, which is a long fucking time to try to remember anything. Like, if shows are every year, that's one thing. But if they're
But if you watch those seasons back to back, like I did on a plane,
sure,
holy shit.
that
Wraps up like in a great way. The mystery is awesome.
I mean, it literally starts at the same moment too. It's like filmed 3 years later.
Fantastic.
But
like, distance between things is really, really important. We live in a world nowadays that the content is being served to us at like a light speed. So if you don't give a person a reason to like keep their interest on you, they're just going to go to other things.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm curious. The Half-Life 2 episode. So Half-Life 2 was 2004. November 2004. Episode 1 was June 2006, so a year and a half. And then episode 2 was October 2007, so another year and a half. That doesn't seem
longer.
Too bad. Yeah. And now we've been, I guess it was almost 15 years between that now.
Yeah. So I think they've officially kicked that idea in their head.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Cut to the Game Awards and they announced Half-Life episode 3.
Oh, God. Sinus the Hedgehog gives $5 and says, no bad Yahtzee. Having the game keeping your choices a secret feels like letting go of a page in a choose-your-own-adventure book. Makes it too risky. Dude, if you're having that experience of playing a choose-your-own-adventure book with, like, all your fingers marking previous pages, you are the opposite of immersed in that story.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that would be like constantly refreshing a save to be like, oh, I didn't want this decision, or I fucked up this thing. Like, I guess that's like save scumming a book.
It's save scumming a book, yeah.
Don't save scum your books. Just go with the flow, man. It's more fun.
And if you like it, take a second run through it. Make some different choices. Get out of that spooky amusement park that Goosebumps threw you in.
Episodic comes back with $2. Says, reminds me of Shareware Doom. Most played just episode 1.
Yeah, so I guess that's... Shareware is also like another sort of somewhat related topic, I guess, to this, right? I know, Yahtzee, you've talked about in the past.
Shareware, that was a thing. It's weird to think of it as like an episodic thing. It was like the thing before digital distribution was a thing where instead of like buying the full game or playing like a demo on a magazine cover disc, you get the entire first episode and then like send off for the rest of it.
Yeah, I guess that's almost the equivalent of now how they have the demos that are like, oh, you could play the first 6 hours of Metaphor Refantasio, and then if you like it, you can buy it and carry your progress over. Yeah, is that like a similar version of that almost?
Started playing that yesterday. That was weird.
Metaphor Refantasio.
Yeah, that's a good R roll.
Right, well, that's how you're supposed to say it. Metaphor Refantasio.
With a nice little Italian accent at the end.
Yes.
Love those dog boys. So many great dog boys in that game.
Yes, I know you like your dog boys.
I do.
Blistered Soul gives $1.99. Says, cool seeing WIP details in next time versus full ep. Well,
that wasn't in Dispatch, was it? No.
No, Dispatch didn't have like in the next episode sequences.
No. Well, I guess maybe old Telltale games would have done that. Maybe like the Telltale Episodic would have been like, and it's like kind of out of context or weird little things.
If you're doing the thing where you develop the episode in between the episode's releases, you're sort of like trapping yourself in a corner by doing that, aren't you?
Yeah.
Now you have to have that in the next episode, even if you realize it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. Ardonda gives $14.99, says, Jamate, 7 years ago, I was much like you. Oh, fucking hell. In that I'd never played a non-MMO Final Fantasy before. Sorry, I didn't say, oh, fucking hell to you, Ardonda. I was just the chats I was reading scrolled weird for a second, and I lost my place. Anyway.
Felt like a very normal opening to...
Sorry, I'll start again. Jamate, 7 years ago, I was much like you in that I'd never played a non-MMO Final Fantasy before. I recently spent 6 years playing through them all in release order, one of two.
Oh, and then if you skip one, you can go to the next one.
Yes, and then you skip one, because some unhelpful bastard put out a super chat in between. And I personally didn't rate FF6 very high, assumed its popularity was due to people's nostalgia, but since you liked it, would you be interested in explaining why in greater detail? Well, not in huge detail, we haven't got all day.
Yeah, I know. I actually want to make an episode on 6, so it's in the works, because I think there's lots of really interesting things it did. Like, because correct me if I'm wrong, lads, it was on the SNES, right, originally?
Yep.
and the PS1. Some of the
The
design
PS1
things
version wasn't for a while.
Yeah,
wasn't for a
little
while,
ways
yeah.
down. Yeah.
But like the stuff it's doing, mainly around its narrative, is incredibly impressive. I'm not. You guys are frozen, so I'm not sure if you guys can hear what
I
I'm
think
saying.
that might have been on your end.
Did you hear any of that?
Yeah. You said the stuff with the narrative is.
Oh, it's
being,
100% on my end.
Yeah, you said the stuff with the narrative was really impressive for the time.
It's incredibly impressive, and just how it uses that to go through the world and encourage exploration and then further inform the narrative. Just for the time is really, really impressive, and the battle system very similar to like Chrono Trigger and stuff like that. Just,
But hey, if you
cool.
but if you didn't gel with it, Hardonda, that's okay.
That's okay.
It takes
Yeah,
many
for sure.
colors, to reiterate, to make a rainbow.
It does. It takes a whole Roy
And I'm
G.
looking
Biv
forward to
of them.
playing the other ones.
Hell yeah.
And in between those, Sinus the Hedgehog came in. Always fucking Sinus the Hedgehog coming in at the most inopportune moments to say, can sequels be episodic like Psychonauts 1 and 2?
I don't think so. I think that's just a sequel, right? I think
Yeah,
at
it's
that
just a
point we're
sequel.
getting
I
to-
mean, the plot follows on from it, but, you know,
yeah.
I don't think they had much planned about the second installment when they made the first.
No.
Anyway.
Even though like the first game ends and then immediately dovetails into the VR game that they made.
The
Rhombus
first
of
game ends on
Ruin.
a cliffhanger, but it's in a sort of in the way the first Mario Brothers movie ends on a cliffhanger. It's just like, you know, as a jokey reference to the
Sure.
to its influences. It's like, hey, it's like a pulpy fiction thing, like saying, "Oh, yes, here we go again."
Yeah.
Anyway, doodle-doodle-doo. Sinus the Hedgehog then comes back with $2 and says, "How about when they're too far apart, aka Broken Age?"
Yeah, those were about
Well, those
15 or 16
know.
months apart, I think.
Well, as I said, what I liked about Dispatch is that it was just a good story, well told, with some nice gameplay in there. And Broken Age has none of that.
You are
It's
mistaken.
it's just not very good. Is that really a controversial viewpoint?
9.0 IGN.com.
I mean, I take this view from someone who used to be really into 90s adventure games, particularly like Tim Schafer's stuff.
That's the problem. It was too scary for you.
Okay, yeah, let's go with that. Hellblazer
Too many
Hawk
jump scares.
gives $10 and says, "What was the game that ruined the Telltale formula for you all? The Walking Dead Season 2 got so bad, I lost all interest in their later projects." Huh. Well,
I think it was when they had too many plates spinning at a time.
Yeah.
Like
Game of
because
Thrones,
Telltale's an
Wolf.
interesting company because they have everything's kind of pre-Walking Dead and post-Walking Dead. Like pre-Walking Dead, they had Sam and Max and Jurassic Park and Monkey Island. and Back to the
Pre-Walking Dead, they
Future,
were all
Bone.
about buying up properties that no one cared about anymore
Sure.
and making sequels to them.
Yeah,
Post-Walking Dead, it was weird. They just like make episodic games out of anything that returned their calls, basically.
yeah, it glommed onto. It's just started glomming onto big things in the zeitgeist. It was like, let's
Yeah.
make a
I mean,
Batman
they did
one.
a
Let's make a
they
Game
did-
of Thrones, Minecraft.
They did Batman. There's like a unique Telltale Batman continuity where all the villains are like told in new ways.
Yeah. Yeah, they were going to do, before
Pretty
they
much.
went under, they were going to do a Stranger Things game. So it was like,
Hmm.
also, it's funny how long Stranger Things has been going on for, that there was going to be a Telltale game based on it. And now that
I
show is
have-
finally wrapping up.
I have never watched any Stranger Things.
Rewatching it.
All I know, the most I know about it, I got from the one monster they added to Dead by Daylight that is apparently from Stranger Things.
Demigorgon. Are they in Dead by
Demigorgon.
Daylight?
I think so.
I think it's called the Demiurge.
Sure. You
Be
can be
the
all sorts of demis.
Gorgon, if it's from.
Did you ever...
the Demigorgon, yes, that was it.
Have you ever had a Eggo waffle?
I have had
I
Eggo
see them
waffles,
in the
yes.
store. Never had one.
You've never had an Eggo waffle, Jay?
We don't have a toaster.
You should get a toaster.
Yeah, they're good.
I think I might go buy one today.
I'm gonna send you one. I'm gonna send you one for Christmas.
And usually pretty inexpensive.
But it's gonna toast. It's gonna have like a picture that it puts on it. It's gonna be like a chocobo
Yeah.
every time you toast it. Oh my
I'm gonna
god,
go to
they're
Best Buy
chocobo
and
toasters.
confuse. I'm gonna confuse the fuck out of the Best Buy clerk. I need to go get Ethernet cables to finally fix our internet. And I'm gonna go buy Ethernet cables and a toaster and just confuse the shit out
Blow
of
their
them.
goddamn minds.
Tsunami Dusha gives $20 and says nothing, as is his wont.
Douche, douche, douche.
And then a superb owner gives $5 and says, "Happy Turkey Week, gents. I am thankful for all that you do. What are some of your favorite feasts in gaming? Mine is the one for the beginning of RE7.
Oh, that's a bad feast.
That's a horrible feast. I was going to say every time you have a meal in Monster Hunter.
Ooh, Monster Hunter and Final Fantasy 15. Love cooking with the boys in Final Fantasy 15.
Final Fantasy 15, that's a game that tried to do episodic DLC and failed.
Hey, there you go.
They did. Yeah, there you go. Tie it all together. So what's your favorite dish in an American Thanksgiving? Like your favorite portion?
Stuffing.
Cranberry sauce? You like? Oh, I love a stuffing.
I love a good stuffing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'll always drop my trousers for a good old stuffing.
Holy moly. Jay, I didn't mean to not include you. I just wasn't sure if you've experienced an American Thanksgiving yet.
I've had one, and I'm gonna have my second this week. It's gonna be great.
Well, make sure you get some of that good stuffing.
Good stuff.
Tell Jess right now,
stuffing.
you're going to expect a very hard stuffing from her.
Yeah, gobble gobble.
Jess, on Thursday, I'm gonna expect a hard stuffing from you, and you're gonna eat my mash this time.
I would have said creamed potatoes, but okay.
What are creamed potatoes?
It's just mash, but like not quite as dense.
I don't like that term.
Yeah, I know you don't. Yeah, I can see the distaste on your face as you consider my creamed potatoes sliding past your lips.
Oh my god!
Don't say sliding. That's fucked up.
I mean, your baked goods look good, so like I imagine it might taste good, but I just don't like anything about that.
I didn't make bread last weekend because I didn't have time. Although I did make.
Are you going to make anything for Thanksgiving?
Yes, I made a key lime pie that I put in the freezer, and I'm going to take to Thanksgiving to share with my in-laws.
Incredible. Very cool.
I haven't finished it with like cream rosettes. I'm going to do that once I get there.
Where do you guys stand on pumpkin pie? That was my last food question.
Never had some.
I'm not a fan, to be honest.
Okay, interesting.
I prefer a traditional apple pie,
sure,
or something like a cheesecake.
Gotcha.
I like a pumpkin spice latte that just tastes of like cinnamon and nutmeg and stuff. Is that what the pie tastes like?
Yeah, very much so.
Sort of.
Then I fuck with it.
Pumpkin doesn't really taste of anything. It's just like seasons and a texture. And for me, I like key lime pie as an actual flavorful alternative to a pumpkin pie.
Sure.
Pumpkin pie is very bland.
Is also a year-round pie, whereas pumpkin pie I only want 1 week in November and I never want it
You've
again.
just reminded me. My apartment complex has offered everyone here a free pie. You like pick a pie and they give you a pie, and it's this week. I think it might be tomorrow. I'm so happy.
Get your pie. See if you can get a pumpkin.
None of my apartment complexes ever did that.
It just says they're going to be this big.
They're going to be tiny. Okay. They're going to be like hand pies.
Right. Yeah, tiny
100%.
Yeah.
I like tiny pie. You know what I bought over the weekend when I went to like the import goods shop? I bought a jar of traditional mincemeat. Traditional Robertson's mincemeat to make into mince pies next month.
Hell yeah.
I love a mince pie.
Americans really don't understand mince pies.
Yeah, it's
great.
Weird. Anyway, Sinos the Hedgehog gives $5, says, egging on made Yahtzee realize raging at games is pointless. His Dark Souls fatigue is getting worse. Quick, someone make him play the Night Rain DLC.
Don't.
I only get mad at games when it's wasting my time and I'm on a deadline. I'm a professional, damn it. Anyway, Nick Knoll gives $5 and says, I confess every time I hear Aaron Paul's voice in the trailers for Dispatch, it takes me out of it. But do you guys think it works when you play it? Well, as I said, I didn't realize it was him till like the end credits. So I imagine it might have been distracting had I known. I've been listening out for it. I didn't know he voiced like the dude on BoJack Horseman either.
Yeah.
He's done quite a lot of voice work as Aaron Paul.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't... Usually that stuff doesn't bother me. I think I don't think he's like stunt casting or anything. I think he's really good.
No, I prefer to
Jeffrey
know.
Wright.
I think you just got to have like a name in your cast. But I think I prefer not to know if a famous person is like doing the voice acting. I prefer not to notice.
What about when you hear a voice and you're like, oh, that's like I'm watching a lot of anime and like I'll be like, oh, that's so and so clearly who voices X, Y, and Z. Like
Christian Bale
hear
and
all of their characters.
Moving
Robert Pattinson.
It's distracting.
Yeah,
you're listening. You start listening for it.
Yeah, I found out that the Turbo. This is going to be a very specific to people who watch Dan to Dan, but there's a character named Turbo Granny who's like a witch that's in the body of a cat, and is voiced by the same in the dub, voiced by the same actress who voiced Rita Repulsa back in the day on Power Rangers. And once I heard that, I was like, oh, now I can never not hear that again.
Yeah.
I mean,
Are they doing that for, like, voice?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would have no idea what that. I mean, I know what Rita Repulsa looks like, but I guess I wouldn't know what the person who dubbed her in that show looks like, because, of course, they dubbed over like shitty Japanese, like.
Oh yeah, no, it wasn't. It wasn't. I don't know what she looks like, but it was just her voice. As soon as you hear it, you're like, oh yeah, that is clearly Rita.
That's Rita Repulsa. Yeah. What a great name.
Yeah, great name. A+ name.
Anyway. Mirith the D gives $2. Says, how do you feel about indigo in the rainbow? Hey, it's something's got to bring the night.
Yeah, someone's got to be in between blue and violet, or else you don't have a Roy G. Biv.
Yeah, I mean, you look at a purple and you look at a blue, and you think, well, those are all very good. But what if there was something slightly in between the two? So you got the moodiness of blue with the spice of purple.
Yeah. If we didn't have that, we wouldn't have Indigo Prophecy, which wouldn't give us David Cage.
Yeah, I'm colorblind.
How many colors do you see in the rainbow? Can you differentiate all of them?
Yeah.
Indigo, violet, and blue tend to. I mean, when they're like indexed out like that, it's easier for me to see. But when they're just like actually together,
gotcha.
The bottom three tend to blur together, and the red and orange kind of meld a little bit as well.
Colors are wild. Colors are wild.
Sussy Guru 2000 gives €5 and says, episodic gaming is like cliffhangers in TV. If every episode was a cliffhanger and there was no guarantee for there to even be a next episode. Remember like the original Batman 60s TV show? They always made a lot of meat out of cliffhangers.
Yeah. Never need to revisit them.
Yes. It'd be weird if like you had like a modern day serial TV show and every episode ended on a cliffhanger. It would probably come across a bit, tortured after a while.
I know some less cliffhanger, but like Netflix almost has like an algorithm for how episodes should end to get people to want to be like, oh fuck, we got to watch one more. Like we can't turn it off now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's weird to. I mean, how do you define cliffhanger? Because I always like really liked how Game of Thrones did it before Game of Thrones went shit. Like, there's an episode that just ends with Jaime Lannister getting his hand cut off.
Yeah,
and like it just goes smash, and it's a really shocking moment, and then it cuts to credits. And I was like, that's not really a cliffhanger. It would be a cliffhanger if you weren't sure if he was about to get his hand cut off, and it suddenly cut to black. Yeah, well, the fact that he cut his hand off, it's like instantly resolved, and he's got no hand now. It's not a cliffhanger, but it's something you really think about until the next episode. It's like, oh, how is he going to deal with this? This is going to make the character basically
really
useless.
Impactful if you're watching week to week. If you just roll into the next episode, it's like, oh, well, this is how they deal with it. But if it's a week, you're like, is he dead?
There is value in it. I just view a cliffhanger as anything where something happens to a character or multiple characters where you are invested in the outcome. So what happens to Jaime? Like, does he die from having his hand cut off? Or what happens to Bran in episode 1, right? Like,
he gets shoved off
just something needs to happen, so it makes me go, I want to see what the outcome of this thing is.
Well, I wouldn't have thought Jaime would have died, because, if they were going to kill him, he would have just died.
They would just killed him, yeah.
Yeah.
If they were going to kill him, they were going to wait and have him go back to King's Landing and have the ceiling fall on him.
Yeah.
Spoilers. He's meant to die. It is, side topic, it is crazy that Game of Thrones takes a character who in the first episode is like a sister fucking child murderer, and then later on in the show, you're like, hell yeah, that's my sister fucking child murderer right there.
Yeah. Like I said, the show was good. It's just
the show was really good.
It's extraordinary how much it turned on a dime.
Yeah,
Jaime is a massive piece of shit. Over many seasons, he redeems himself and grows as a person, and then plummets back into being a piece of shit. It's like it's grim.
Yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't say it turned on a dime. I think the shit was definitely setting in when they ran out of books to adapt.
Yeah, it wasn't like a binary thing, because there were still some like moments, some semblances of like, man, you still got the juice. It's just that you're surrounded by a bunch of garbage.
Yeah, every now and again. Anyway,
Garbage juice.
Sovereign46. Sovereign gives €5 and says, since no one else has asked yet, Yahtzee and Marty, which dispatch waifu did each of you all pick?
We can't spoil it.
Well, I don't think it would be a spoiler to say that I went with the one that actually felt like it would be a compelling narrative because they had a character arc and a redemption plot, and the other one just felt like a big load of nothing, and I didn't like her.
And Yahtzee and I made the same decision there.
Yes.
Yes.
And as I said to you, Marty, if they just cut out all the fucking branching path bullshit, just kept to the paths that had the most compelling story, and did everything else the same, I would not have complained. It would have been fine. It would have been fine.
Yeah.
Can I pick all of them? Have like a hero haram?
Sadly, there's only two options.
No, it's not so much a haram as a 3 in a bed romp.
Oh. Can I have a hero romp?
You can have as many hero romps as you want.
Yeah.
It's your special day.
I'm downloading it now.
Yeah.
Anyway, Silence the Hedgehog gives $2 and says, off topic, are YouTube poops and memes social media post-punk?
YouTube poops?
Yes. Do you know what YouTube poops are?
No.
Yeah.
I thought that was YouTube playables.
No, probably best not to investigate if you don't know what a YouTube poop is.
I need to know.
They'll
Your
probably
mind
be
will
lost on
melt.
you.
This is like when I had to have Jack explain 6-7 to me.
It's like a surreal edit of a work of media.
Oh,
A very surreal
surreal.
sort of stream of consciousness edit of an established piece of media.
Are they
Yeah.
post-punk?
people are
Social media
amazed at
post-punk?
how I don't know. I
would have
don't.
said, by my definitions, I would have called them post-punk. Yes,
I
or possibly just punk.
did
Not
not
even
spend a
post,
lot
just
of time
punk.
on the internet from 2002 to the time I got this job. So like I was out there. I was just getting drunk and
You didn't miss much.
kissing people.
Mm,
Apparently, I did. I missed YouTube poop.
okay. Well, in my video about post-punk for Semi-Ram that I did, I explained that the classic punk art form is graffiti. And if one were to summarize YouTube poops as anything, I would say they were the graffiti of YouTube. The graffiti of like online media.
I dig that.
It's just shitting all over somebody else's property for like a giggle and to establish that you exist.
Uh-huh.
No idea.
Anyway, that's all the super chats. So yes, on that Marty being slightly confused note.
Incredible. I'm going down a rabbit hole. I'm gonna look.
Oh,
at
one more actually. Always Comfy Cat gives $2 and says, just curious, will you do a Ramblematic of Dispatch? Yes, I will. Not this week, not the week after, probably the week after that.
Incredible.
Anyway, that's it from us. So speaking of fully Ramblematic, this week's episode is on Where Winds Meet.
Werewolves
a Chinese
meet.
free-to-play game that apparently lots of people play, but I'd forgive you if it had gone over your head. And I won't. I will not be doing Yahtzee tries this week. Yes, because I'm buggering off for the holidays because of Thanksgiving. It's a thing that Americans take seriously, so I'm getting like dragged to the in-laws' house.
Yes, we
for the week. We are doing a semi-ram this week.
You'll have a semi-ram that should be going up on Thanksgiving, and then we may attempt to fill that slot on Wednesday. Maybe we'll try to do that Jack Dark Souls stream with Jess and myself, possibly.
There you go. Yes. So there will still be content this week, as I said. Semi-ram on Thursday, and everyone else doing stuff. But I'm going to be out of town from Wednesday on, so I won't be doing Yahtzee tries. And here's Jay's dog for everyone who indulges.
A whole dog. Jay, what did you and Ludo work on today?
We were working on the Dark Souls board game episode, and then we realized that a lot of the references we were making were to a video that doesn't exist anymore. So I remade that episode, which is on the hidden inner workings of Dark Souls and why those games work. It's actually one of my favorite episodes I've ever made. So go check that out. And then we've got, because I was ill last time, we have Dev Heads this Friday with Player Unknown, who's coming on to talk about their new project, which is a really interesting, I guess, kind of episodic mechanical test. Like they're dropping a game that is like a exploration of a mechanic first, and then they're going to expand on it in another game. It's very interesting. we'll see how it works. But they're coming on just to discuss it and their unique take on that stuff. So you can see that on Friday.
Oh, so you guys are doing an
and-
episode this week.
Yeah, we're doing dev heads this week. Yeah,
Excellent.
I missed it last week, but I think that's me.
Radical.
All right. Well, I won't bring
yeah, then
Toffee
we
out because he's got a hurty paw at the moment.
Oh, and did
Aw.
big farts.
He ripped his dew claw, and he doesn't like
No.
being. He doesn't like him being pulled around and dug out of his little blanket nest at the moment.
Bless.
Poor guy. Yeah, and then we'll have normal Hidden Gems will be this evening, and stay tuned tomorrow at 5 p.m. Central. If you're a member of the Phoenix tier, we're doing our monthly movie hang. And so come by 5 p.m. Central for that. And of course, if you're a member of the Patreon, check out the edited video of the trivia that we did live in Milwaukee in person the other month. Jack did a great job of editing that together. All three of us took part in that, along with
Jay
Jess
and Jesse Galena dressed like twats for it.
Dressed like
So
twats.
be sure to check it out.
It truly, you just remember that it was right before Halloween. Don't watch it now and be like, why are they dressed like
And
that?
remember, I
It
was
right before
going through some very horrible flu at the time.
Halloween. I felt
In
great.
case you're wondering why my voice is weird and I'm coughing a lot.
Yeah, I was dressed normally and I felt great. The end.
All right, that's it. That's
We
it.
did it.
We did it. We did it
That was
again.
all. Bye, everyone.
So we'll
Thanks for
see
watching.
you all next week. Thanks for
Appreciate
watching.
you.
Bye.